Hi, I'm Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and today's video is a flip through of my latest altered book. I'm going to walk through page by page, and talk about the techniques that I've used throughout collage, mixed media, and I hope that will give you some ideas for your own pages. I'm also going to talk about the vintage paper ephemera that I've used throughout. If you like altered books and journal arts and old books and paper, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post about them every Friday. This is from a smaller book. I'm getting to really like this smaller size, and it's from a series called Bell's Miniatures. The book is from 1905. I really like this. This cover is distressed now, as you would be if you were 115 years old, I imagine, but I do like the printed filigree work a lot. Still, that was a little bit busy, so I needed something to help this focal point pop. To do that, this is a handwritten French document from 1838, and I just rough tore this. You can do this with any text or print that you have. And then I inked up the edges and pulled it all the way across to make a border and actually a kind of a demi frame. This flower is from a book called Mr. Marshall's Flower Book. I use it a lot as a resource. On this first layout, I didn't want to. This is the original ex libris that was in the book. It's from 1897, and I didn't want to over alter it because I liked that tea color and the leaf work. So I did add this little guy, though, this sparrow, because if you've seen my flip throughs, my altered books, you know that I don't want page, page. I want this to be one cohesive canvas, and I want this collage to be telling a story. So by adding this bird, I have helped connect these pages because the, the colors in his feathers pick up the reddish brown here, but then the chocolate color picks up the chocolate colored frame here. That helps this whole together. He's also gazing out here. We don't know what he's looking at. That's part of the story. But we can see this gaze from this kitten is looking at the bird. Now, he may have mischief in mind. We all know that. But maybe not, because the caption says lonely. I love this card. It was a postcard, but it's actually also a real photograph. They were called rotograves, and this rotograve is from 1906. Let's hope they're going to be friends. Over here, I started this layout by adding a page of Welsh text, which is always interesting. He is from the Girl's Own Paper. That's a print magazine from 1883. Over here, I have vintage sea images, which are actually bothering me a little because I'm scared of the sea. But I do like how this sweeping image of the Nautilus is again bringing the eye back into the other page. I didn't have to ink up the edges because of the foxing on the original page. That did it for me already. I did add a pocket, though, by gluing two sections of pages together. Inside is a card from the 1920s that says good luck, and this is raised embossing. Inside, I've done a little bit of altering with some bird-themed tissue paper and flowers. And this is some ribbon that I got in France. Now, here we have a layout with it's got a lot going on, but I love it so much. I've made a side pocket here. This is a vertical pocket using a little bit of A Guide to British Wildflowers. This pocket is a diagonal pocket that I made from a Guide to British Birds, no, a children's book of British birds. And I just cut along the twig about mid-page, and I used that as the border for the diagonal pocket. I inked up the edges to kind of bring out the blue on both of them. Again, that helps the pages hold together. Inside of this pocket is a postcard, a handwritten postcard. It's got a stamp here, halfpenny stamp, and it is actually dated 1875. It's got this really gorgeous old copperplate handwriting. Also in the pocket, this is a French holy card. It says, "A souvenir for your prayers." This is on celluloid, and it's hand-painted and handwritten. I collect these, and this is one of the most beautiful celluloid cards I've seen. Over here are two vintage cigarette cards of wildflowers. So that helps carry that theme from there to here, as does this card. This is an old advertising card. It says, "Compliments of Singer Manufacturing Company, New Orleans." And the blue flowers here pick up the blue in the border, as does the magnolia. And then it's got, this would have been something that a salesperson would have given you if you were looking at sewing machines. Some very hard nuts to crack. Oh, the background here, again, I put down some other text, and then I added more of that bird-themed tissue paper. You can see that when you put down tissue paper, it goes translucent, so you can still see the text underneath. These eggs are ones that I have printed up on tracing paper, cut out, and then when tracing paper goes down, it also goes translucent. And this guy is just from one of my coffee table books of birds. Here I put down a background of pages from the Observer's Guide to Bird Eggs, another book that I use a lot because it sets up a page with some interest right away, but with lots of space for you to work on. This is a little folder that I got at a flea market, and I love finding little folders like this that you can turn into something else. It was meant for a photograph, but the original photograph was missing. So I added her. She is actually a cigarette card from the 19th century, and it is a proper photograph, but it was a cigarette card. Oh, here we go. This was the series that I got. So you can see they're all black and white photographs. So I've just slid her in here. So now that frame is hers. Over here is a little pocket. And in the little pocket, I have added, this is a Victorian scrap. And it's also another, it's got a scripture in French. And again, the blue flowers kind of make your mind go back to the blue flowers in the previous layout. So we've got the bird's eggs, the flowers, it's holding together. These are from a postcard that I probably got in a museum. If I'm in a museum, I'm buying postcards. I made another pocket here, another diagonal pocket. This is also by gluing sections of the pages together. And if you'd like to see some ideas on making pockets like this, I have a longer video on YouTube, and I will put a link to it in the text so you can get some ideas about that. They are gazing. Again, see how their gaze is going over, taking your eye to this page. So that helps them hold together. Inside the pocket is another French Holy card, and we're really going angel, heavy here. But I like that because I think the wings also tie into the wings on previous pages with birds and whatnot. This layout actually looks really good even without the card in there. But having made a pocket, I had to put something in there. So, all of these details are from a reproduction, a coffee table book of maps, vintage maps. I recommend these again as something that you might want to look for because they're not very expensive. If you get them secondhand, they're dead cheap, and you get so much out of them. I got this, and I just added it to all the corners. That helps this pull together. And these are some celestial images that were there. The background itself is some stencil work. And I made that with this stencil of arches. It's from Tim Holtz. And this ink pad, which is a linen color. But when I stamped the stencil work with that linen color, it actually went on a kind of a burnt gold color, which echoes the colors throughout, also pulls this together. Finally, I have another reproduction vintage map, and I've hand painted some acrylic bauble flowers. If you like this book and you would like to see some larger photographs that you can kind of examine better, or if you'd like to buy it, the link to this is in my online shop, and the link is below the text here, in the text below this video. I also have a monthly newsletter, online newsletter, that is full every month of vintage paper scans. They're free, and you can use them in your own work. It also has a lot of art journal tutorials and a little bit of fashion, history, and the occasional pep talk. If you'd like to subscribe to that newsletter, the link is also in the text below this video. If you can't find it, please get in touch. Let me know. We'll get that sorted. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I love to compare notes. And until next Friday, happy making.